Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course from New Earth One Network. This is designed exclusively for your higher self connection and embodiment. Welcome to this Mastery Empowerment course. We are here with Dr. Richard London, who is sharing ways that we can totally create the divine in our life, a divine edge, actually, how our heart and soul can resonate more with Source Light. Hi, Dr. Richard. Welcome back.
Thanks. Hi, Lauren. Hi, everybody in the universe. I'm glad you're listening today. It's important to have great wisdom. Remember, wisdom sets you free. Yes, the more wisdom, and really, wisdom is part of your heart and part of your soul, not part of your head. So the divine edge is really about using your heart and your soul more instead of your head. So everybody out in the universe, on November 11th, planet Earth started receiving all this reflective energy. So the things that you're probably feeling is different energy. You're feeling your past. You're having soul thoughts. You're having life revelations. You're having different emotions. And so the divine edge is really about controlling those emotions, because emotions create mind chatter. And you don't want to go into, if you desire, you can cry, and it's okay to cry and express your feelings. But if you spend 24 hours a day dealing with emotions, guess what? Then you're not going to be able to see divinity. Remember, divinity enters your heart and soul, but it comes from Mother Earth. So it comes from Mother first, goes up your body, and then comes into your body, and eventually reaches what we call Father. Father is up here. But you don't want it to stay in your brain a lot, because your heart is actually your remote control. So the divine edge is learning about using your heart and your soul more in your daily activities. So let me give you an example. So say you're having problems at work and it's very emotional for you. So emotion is part of what's called the dark energy. And the solution is part of the energy of God. So by staying in the solution, which is the energy of God, what does it do? It brings you to a great resolve. And you want to have great resolves. Let's see, I love Christmas. Christmas is going to be, and today, Christmas is going to be in about 3 weeks. And everybody on this universe, you want to have a great, great holiday. You want to have a strong family unity. You want to have laughter. You want to have connection. And having wisdom in your heart and soul gives you that connection. Like Lauren, you have family all over the world now, right? Okay. So how do you connect where you feel divine with your family? By Skype, by
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay. Okay. And you're using the video part of WhatsApp with your family?
Sometimes. Sometimes, yes, sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Well, see, the divine edge gives you the ability, and we'll do an experiment. Close your eyes. And I'm closing my eyes, and everybody listening to this program, if you really center yourself in your heart and your soul, you can connect with every family member simultaneously. And then what you do is you send them divine love. And remember, divine love is the only pure love that exists on the earth. And that divine love comes from your soul, comes from your heart. And you're connecting with all your family members at the highest level. So they're transforming your life and you're transforming their life. See, we have all this technology that exists on earth, and I love technology. But the greatest technology is really the soul and the heart and the wisdom of every human being and the ability to connect. Believe it or not, you can connect to everything in your house, to your lamp, to your stove, to your refrigerator. And guess what? It feels great. It even feels greater to connect with the hearts and souls of all your family members 24 hours a day. And you're sending them messages of divine love minute by minute. Because this energy that you're experiencing right now is pure. It doesn't have any technological interference. And you're talking to somebody who has many computers. I have 21 cell phones. Yeah. But
Technology does put you in the head. Totally puts you in
does
the head.
it does put you in the head. So divine edge is about putting your heart and soul. Okay. See this? This is how close you should be to the energy of God. This close, that close. And everybody needs to work being that close to the energy of God. And how does it feel? It feels wonderful to be that close. Remember, and I might have said it in the past, but I'm going to say it again. Lauren, everybody listening to this program, you're not the child of God. You're the sons and daughters of the energy of God. And that creates this kind of relationship. And it's really important, especially at this time, that people have this. See, when you're like this, you can communicate. You can co-create with God. And this is what you should be doing. But if God is way up there and you're a child, too much distance to communicate in the way that you need to. So in everybody's life, they need to strive for using wisdom. See, wisdom has the energy of God. So let's give an example of wisdom versus knowledge. edge. Okay. You go into a market and you're looking for something in particular, and so you believe what you're looking for as a particular location. So that's knowledge. It's telling you, I normally find what I'm looking for in this particular location. And then when you use wisdom, guess what happens, Lauren? What you're looking for just appears. Yes. I'm going to give the listeners an advantage, an idea how powerful divine edge is. I went to the store. It's actually a market that sold clothes at one time. And I bought two pair of pajamas. And I brought them home. My wife loved them. She says, go back tomorrow and buy me three more pair. So I went back there and to the same area, which was about a 10 by 10 area, I couldn't find any more pajamas. Guess what? I didn't leave the store until the pajamas appeared. So divine wisdom and the energy created the pajamas. Only three pair in the exact size, which was medium. And then I left the store. So guess how long it took me? I stayed in the store looking for the pajamas for about 40 minutes. Have you ever gone to a store and they didn't have what you want and you kept on looking and looking and then you found it? My entire life, when my daughter was a little girl, I never left the store until I found exactly what I was looking for. So that's the divine edge. And so if I can do it and you can do it, it's a different energy. See this pen? To most people, it's just a pen. But if you put divine energy into this pen, guess what happens? You can write a movie. You can write a book.
Okay.
You can rearrange and rewrite your life. So that's what the divine edge is putting divinity and wisdom in everything you do in the life, even in this pen. Fortunately enough, see, I've been doing all this stuff all my life. So I understand it's really easy for me, but it can be easy for your listeners as well, because one of the biggest ingredients that's necessary in moving in the world of divine edge is empirical faith. So
Okay.
here's empirical. Okay. Empirical faith is layered. We're talking hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, billions of years, where every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, your faith is growing. So it would be different than impeccable faith, because people, okay, integrity. So I relate integrity in a way to empirical faith. If you have integrity, if somebody gives you a penny, you have to return that penny. It doesn't mean you're gonna take a penny or two, because it's the same thing as taking $100 or 100 million. It has to be exact. So there are three types of faith. There's sort of cultural faith, there's unconditional faith, and then there's empirical faith. So when you're working with empirical faith, this is what creates the divine edge. And all you have to do is say to yourself, okay, I'm going to live in a world of empirical faith. I'm going to live in a world of integrity. And that starts the process of it happening in your life. Because when you come, when your words come from your heart and soul, it resonates with the energy of God. So, have you ever had a time in your life where you asked God for something and you didn't get it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, how did you feel when you didn't get what you wanted?
Disappointed, kind of angry. Yes.
So, listeners, I've never been disappointed ever in this lifetime or any past lifetime. It is what it is. And the reason anyone gets disappointed, I'm going to use the pen as again. So, this is God and this is you. If you're believing you're the child of God or less than equal of God, then guess what? So, okay, I got you pointed at God. See, God is starting to move because God is feeling your energy. So I'm going to tell the listeners the biggest secret in the world. The only role model you need in life is the energy of God. People have had role models, Michael Jackson, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Rihanna, Taylor Swift. In the world we live in, your role model has to be the energy of God. And remember, see, spirituality should be easy. Religion is complicated. It has all these doctrines. Religion is heavy. It's really heavy. Whereas I don't have a feather, otherwise, spirituality has to be light as a feather. So the energy of God is light as a feather. So why not have the energy of God as your role model? Yeah. How many people in your lifetime have said the energy of God is my role model? Probably not that many. Yeah. And again, all the people who bring us this beautiful music and people on television, they're really talented people. Many of them are lovely human beings. But the energy of God gives you what you want, especially in the 21st century. Yes. We need to focus in that particular arena. So you want to be able to, in 2022, it's important that you have this divine edge. And I'm recommending everyone who listens to this program that they book a personal session with me because I have the ability to go into your personal Akashic records and give you exactly what you need so you can move forward. Now, 2022, you know that it's a 6 year, right? 2023 is a 7 year. 2024 is an 8 year. 2024, 25 is a 9 year. So, do you know what 6 years are about? It's about creating perfection basically in an imperfect world. Nothing is really perfect in this world because if you strive for perfection, you're going to be disappointed. If I see a wilted rose, it's just as beautiful as a fresh rose because it's all part of this energy, what we call God. So in 2022, you want to have an edge, and that edge is going to be wisdom. And it's going to be about taking care of your heart, taking care of your family, taking care of your soul, taking care of your body. Yes. I don't really like vitamins, but I take them. So I drink this every day. Organic coconut water. No sugar in it, no calories, no nothing. And why do I drink it? I drink it because when God created coconuts, he put all this divine energy. So it has 60 plus benefits. Yes. And remember, it's coconut water, not coconut milk. No sugar, nothing. So find what works in your body and do it consistently. Remember, this world that we live in, whatever works well, don't stop it. If you're feeling great taking something, do it consistently. So I'm going to give the listeners the best advice anybody's ever given them. Ask God, would God take his vitamins every day? Yes. He would take it consistently. That means 7 days a week. I tell my wife all the time, she forgets to take her vitamins and things. And I say, would God take his vitamins or her vitamins every day? She agrees, yes. So if it feels good for God, it should feel good for you. And then it makes your choices really easy. What time do you get up in the morning?
I get up with the sun or right
See?
before the sun.
Okay. And what time do you go to sleep?
Not too long after the sun goes down.
Did you hear that, listeners? That is very consistent with God, getting up before it's light and going to sleep after dark, shortly after dark. Now, believe it or not, I start work at 1 a.m. in the morning every day, 7 days a week, because I'm in the Akashic records. Yes, determining what people should do in the future. So I'm up at 1 a.m. and I go to sleep about 6 or 7. Yes. So I go to sleep early. Yes. Just when it's getting dark. So the big key in life, consistency, consistency, consistency. What about food? Do you eat consistently the good things? And I'm not talking about every minute of the day. Yes.
We've moved to plant-based meats, which are not really meats, and I feel really good with that. And we're doing that more and more.
So tell the listeners how you feel different, because it might be a good alternative for your listeners.
It's an
You,
excellent alternative. You don't feel the digestion makes you feel lighter. You don't feel weighed down.
she feels lighter. So imagine your body feeling lighter. Imagine your soul feeling lighter. So you having your body, your soul, and your heart lighter. That's ideal. Yes. And that's what we need to move in.
Mm.
And I believe that everybody on earth, we have our weaknesses. Some people love chocolate. So people that need to indulge. Yeah.
Uh,
So consistency doesn't mean you do everything perfect, but in the important things, like, so I'm going to interject something really important. I suggest, and God suggests now, that you do a lot, people on this earth do a lot of deep breathing. So imagine God is in front of you, listeners. Would you think you would see God meditating or deep breathing? 100% of the time, it would be deep breathing, right, Lauren?
yes, isn't that like the movement of the cosmos? The
Yes.
the grace. Mm.
Yes, staying in grace. So Mother Earth, Mother Earth breathes every second of our existence here on the earth. And that's why everybody needs to care for Mother Earth at this particular time. She needs a lot of loving and lots of care. No trash. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
And see the breathing aspect. Okay, we'll deep breathe. See, it activates the 9 chambers of your heart. I discovered with God that we have 9 chambers. That's one of the things that I teach in the 9 sessions. You see, these 9 chambers are like 9 different TV stations on our remote control. And by optimizing these 9 chambers of your heart, then your heart and soul functions at the perfect level. So let me explain to you even more. So if you believe in reincarnation, every time you came back, parts of your 9 chambers of the heart would become optimized. Maybe 1 or 2% or 3%. But now people have the opportunity to have all 9 chambers optimized. So imagine this bottle of water, which is purified water, having all of its chambers, and everything that exists really is part of the energy of God. So water has heart and soul. So imagine the 9 chambers of this water being optimized perfect. So I'm gonna drink. And so what it does now, it purifies my entire body, because the chambers of the heart of that water is now optimized 100%. So this is the first time in the history of mankind that humans have the opportunity to really have their hearts and their souls and their bodies feeling in order, in perfection. Did you ever think that you're going to eat plant-based meats?
No, not at all.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yes, yeah. Now, I haven't run across a lot of. I normally eat a lot of eggs, lots of fruit, lots of vegetables, asparagus, cauliflower, fresh carrots. I love carrots. So, you listeners out there, in 2022, you want to develop a divine edge, and you want to develop your divine intuition. See, your heart and your soul can give you this divine intuition. And I know Lauren really is using her intuition a lot more than ever this year, right? It directs you exactly what to do, right? Yep, yep.
Yeah, if we listen to it, right.
But see, listeners, if you're not in divinity, how can you expect to listen and find your divine intuition? This whole process of being on earth is being grounded as a human being, but being divine. Yes. So Lauren's divine. I'm divine. You 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 can be divine as well. And remember, you're a daughter or son of God. This is an important difference, because when you're a son or daughter of God, you have the ability to attain the greatest communication with the energy of God. You want to be able to communicate with that particular energy. It's like you've hugged the tree before, right? Okay. So when you hug a tree, you're connecting to the energy of God because you have Mother Earth at the roots of the tree, and then you have Father at the top of the tree. And so Father and Mother are coming together in that hug. Yes. So unfortunately, but fortunately, I can analyze every action that humans take on this earth and what's really happening. And when you know what's really happening, then you do this again and again and again. When I was 13 years old, I was in an agriculture class, and every plant I touched, it just grew bigger and stronger than everybody else in the class. And so we're 13 years old, we're just teenagers. And I didn't really understand. Everybody said I had a green thumb. But actually, I was using the energy of God and placing that energy in the plants. Yeah. Another thing, listeners, the divine edge, Lauren is a spiritual farmer at the highest level. I've used that term. Do you remember spiritual farming?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal of every listener on any spiritual program in the world is to be you have one divine purpose, and then you can choose many divine purposes. So if you're looking for your divine purpose, it's developing this spiritual farming abilities, the ability to share your wisdom and transform people's lives. I would have been happy with just one divine purpose. Unfortunately, I have many. Yes. And so, in having a personal session with me, you will find exactly how to function as a spiritual farmer, how to move in your divine purpose, and then other purposes. Like, you know that you've been a master teacher with your program. That's probably one of the reasons why you created the program, right?
Didn't know that. Thank you.
But also, to be honest with you, by us sharing this great wisdom, what has it done to you? It's enriched your life. It's made you more grounded. When you talk with people like me and others, this wisdom makes you more grounded and makes things more real. And that's another thing about the divine edge. You have to know what is real, and then what is part of your illusion. Real is interacting with everybody in your life. You have children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your relationship with your children and you doing this program, I'm sure it's gotten better and better, right?
Yes, one son, and yeah.
One son. It's gotten better and better because he understands you better and you understand him better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that means you're understanding his divinity and he's understanding your divinity. And
Yes.
that's the best you can get is people understanding each other's divinity. And divinity looks different depending where you are in your life. But to be honest with you, it's the same. And you're fortunate, new listeners out there. If you have talents like Lauren and you like people, start a show. I can help you start a show and become everything that you need. to be in this particular time, sharing this great wisdom. How old is your son?
He's 20.
20 years old. See?
Yes.
Yes, 20. And you've been doing the show how many years?
Oh my gosh. Since 2006. Wow.
17 years. So
Wow.
that means this is, that means 17 years, you're in the eighth energy. Next year, it's going to be the 18th year. That means you're going to be in the ninth energy. So 9 has the energy of expansion, the ultimate. An 8 energy is about abundance in every area of your life. And having the divine edge, you have abundance in wealth, abundance in faith, abundance in harmony, abundance in divine love. See, these are all the energies that we need to create. And remember, when I was a little boy, people talked about being ordinary, in school. I believe everybody has the opportunity to be extraordinary. And I'm going to teach your listeners something. I love history. Do you like history?
No, not really. I don't like the history of war.
Okay. Okay. So when I was growing up, I loved history. And then when I was a little boy, I made the decision, I'm going to make history. So every listener out there, you have the opportunity at this time in the world we live in to make history in your own way. And how does it feel to make history every minute of your life? It feels wonderful. And I'm going to share with your listeners what it looks like. So when I walk down the street, I'm connecting to the houses, to the plants, to everybody that's living in the houses, everybody walking by, the telephone lines, the electric lines. And it's okay to connect to all those things and be part of that, because then you feel one. So again, see this? This is how you should feel. One with yourself, one with God, one with your family, one with everything. And so that should be your goal for 2022, is
Unity.
having the energy of God as your role model. But you need to know, if you don't know the information about who you really are, it is in the Akashic records. I have the ability to be in the Akashic records 24 hours, 7 days a week. And remember, if life isn't what you want, you're just one thought away from being where you should be. Yes. The shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Yeah. And humans need to move fast. You don't want to wait a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years to move forward in your life. 2020, it was a 4 year.
A new
So 4 years,
foundation.
yeah, it's all about change, change, change. So now things are starting to come together for your life. So if you're looking for wealth, can you create wealth in this world today? Can you create divine love? Can you create harmony? Can you create gratitude? Can you create joy? Yes, you can have all these things. Again, this is what you really want. You want to be one with the energy of God. Even say, when you say it, I'm one with the energy of God, I'm one with the energy of God, I'm one with the energy of God. If you say it 9 times, it becomes part of your existence. and you feel this sense of peace. So no matter what's going on in the world, you want to be a realist in the world this year. I recommend you spend a lot of time with your family, your animals, spend a lot of time developing your intuitive skills, spend a lot of time developing divine love, the divine edge. Yes. I love sharing great wisdom with you because, see, great wisdom transforms your life. Much of the information on the internet, although it's informative, it's knowledge. And so knowledge is like way down here. Wisdom. It's really, wisdom has no limits. You see the light changing? Yeah. You can see the light on my hands. Yeah. Wisdom is that powerful. See how the light is changing.
Thank you so much for sharing the ingredients, really, of what's required for the divine edge. This is how we move forward in our new earth with this connection to source. And as you were sharing that, I know all the listeners were feeling into that connection with the God energy. And so you're doing a class coming up, an online class, a
Yes.
webinar on Zoom. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to cover in that class. It's about 90 minutes to 2 hours.
The major ingredients of that class, remember, your life, my life, it's about just like recipes. We have to have the best ingredients. So I put together the best ingredients for you to create the 2022 of your life. So it's about all your desires coming together, but knowing how to create those desires. To just give the listeners just a little bit is how to really create divine laughter, because that's an important ingredient in having a prosperous 2022. How to create divine balance. So just being in balance doesn't really mean you're going to be in balance, because balance could be like this. See, listeners, one side is lower than the other. Whereas when you're in divine balance, you're like this. And nothing can break the energy. So it's about, I'll be teaching how to create divine harmony, divine gratitude, divine joy, all these ingredients that are necessary, and telling you how to do it, how to concentrate on your faith and create empirical faith. How would you like to have empirical faith? How does that sound? So ask me, how does it feel to have empirical faith? Wonderful. Do you remember Dudley Moore? Do you remember the movies he used to do?
Yes.
Okay. So I remember him going into he was a multi-millionaire, and he went into this flower shop, and the owner of the flower shop says to him, "How does it feel to be wealthy?" And immediately he said, "Wonderful." Yes. And that's how it should feel in every aspect of the life. How does it feel alive? Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in your life should feel wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
And in the class, I'll be teaching you how to bring that wonder and the fullness of life together to make your life wonderful. Yeah. My life is wonderful. So if my life is wonderful, I should be capable of helping you to make your life wonderful. Because I do know all the divine secrets to move there in that direction. I'd like to see people have the wonder of life and then the fullness of life come together. And then it's truly wonderful. Yes. Not that complicated, right? See, people probably didn't know there's the wonder of life and then there's the fullness of life. And the wonder and the fullness of life comes together. And then guess what it is? Life is wonderful.
I love that. I love that. And that's the mission that you're on, assisting so many in reaching this vibration, reaching this resonance, having and cultivating this divine edge. When you hold that frequency, you manifest, you are provided for in a wonderful life.
Lauren, you're exactly correct. See, most people vibrate between 100 and 200. When you're in the frequency of divine edge, you're in the thousands. And when you become fifth dimensional, there are people on this earth that are vibrating in the hundreds of thousands. So imagine you're vibrating at a say 200, then you're vibrating at 10,000. I would rather vibrate at 10,000 than 200. Then I would rather vibrate at 250,000 than 10,000. Yes, it's all relative. But once you have the foundation, and my classes give you that foundation, and this information that I've shared with you today gives you that foundation to move you forward. So I do recommend to everyone that they sign up for the personal sessions because I have access to your Akashic records. I will tell you exactly what you need to do to move forward positively in 2022. And that's going to give you the divine edge.
Thank you for that. What a beautiful guide you are for those who seek to know more and to create that divine edge. And the work that you do with the Akashic records of individuals helps move those folks forward. We thank you for that. And right here on this webpage, you'll find the course and some recorded courses with Dr. London, as well as options for the personal sessions. Thank you, Dr. London. We are in gratitude for everyone who is watching or listening. What a beautiful reminder that we are one with our heart, one with our soul, one with our family and loved ones. And so for that, we are in great joy, gratitude, and laughter. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.